there may be a new Star Trek film after all. Details after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd, and was reading around, and there is a couple of things that came as a surprise. We had pretty much expected that Star Trek 4, once that Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pine had backed out, would not go ahead, and therefore there would be no more Star Trek pictures. This production by Quentin Tarantino was considered to be kind of a joke. He had been interested in doing something, but it didn't look like it was going to go anywhere. He was working on another picture. So the news came kind of interesting today that Quentin Tarantino has a script now for the next Star Trek feature. The story was that the reason that Pine and Hemsworth backed out was because of money. They wanted to cut back the budget on the film. The fact of the matter is, Star Trek films have always been made on very thin budgets, and that's not a big surprise. Hemsworth basically saw the script for Star Trek 4 and did not like it, and therefore did not want to do the project with the script written as it was. And with that, he backed out. And the studio covered for it by saying, well, he wanted more money, trying to push the blame onto him. And so that picture was pretty much shelved. The director has gone on to different things, and we figured that it was all over with. Well, the story as it is that Quentin Tarantino was more interested than we thought and has come up with a script. Now, he has not made notes on it yet, but the draft script is complete, and as soon as he finishes putting the finishing touches on his current movie, he's going to break down this script and decide how he wants to do it. And he said publicly that it is going to be R-rated. Now, it's not going to have any nudity in it, most likely, but we'll have language. If someone gets hit over the head with something, they probably won't say, "Oh, shucks." And also, if someone is injured, you're going to see blood. It seems that a lot of science fiction, generally speaking, when somebody is shot, they just kind of fall down or they disintegrate, or if they're blown out of the ship, they're just guys in uniforms floating through space. It will be more gory. And he believes that to add the more realism to the story will make it more watchable and more accessible to more people. And this is something that Star Trek movies have had a problem with. The only movie that has really drawn non-Trekkies in any big number has been Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, because it was so untraditional for a Star Trek feature. It had first of all, the Enterprise wasn't in it for the most part, and it had just the crew in street clothes going through San Francisco trying to find their way back to their own time with the whales that they needed. It had an environmental message into it, and it also had a lot of comedy, a lot of lighter moments, a lot of very humanizing things from the cast, and everybody got a good scene. So that could be a possibility with Tarantino. He knows how to work with actors. He knows how to make the most of a small budget. He can make films that have a lot of attention. And just because he's directing, there's a lot of people that are going to want to see this picture just to see what Tarantino does with a Star Trek picture. So there are some possibilities here. Now, there's some people saying, I'll never watch a Star Trek picture done by Tarantino. He'll mess it up. Maybe he will, but you're going to have to see it to find out what he did, and that's going to bring a lot of people in. So that is the news that came out just this week, is that it's more than just a rumor now that Tarantino might do a Trek picture. He definitely wants to do it. He's definitely going to be working on the script. And while there is still some development to be done on this, budgeting, shooting schedules, getting all the stars in place, it looks like that he wants to use the reboot cast, although there's no statement as to whether it's going to be done in the Prime or the Kelvin universe. It is very likely that it'll use the same stars just because they're already there. They're already playing the parts. Some people are already excited about doing it. Zachary Quinto has said in public statements that he thinks that it will add an extra dimension to Star Trek. So it's a very positive thing that is going on with Tarantino's desire to do a Star Trek picture. He's been a long time Star Trek fan, and so that could have some real kind of interest to it. So that is the latest that we have on a Star Trek movie. We'll give you more information as we find out, of course. And we'd like to hear what you think about Tarantino directing a Star Trek film in the comments. Also, if you have not subscribed, please do so and click the bell for notifications of when we do a new video. We're going to be doing some more Trek-related stuff. We're going to finish up the videos on Good Omens, but we're also going to get back more into our core subject matter of Trek and the Orville and things like that. So we hope that you'll stay with us. And until next time, don't go far.